everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessica Shirkan. I'm an aspiring author currently working on my debut novel, Boston's Vigilantes. I created my channel to document my self-publishing journey, to share my tips and tricks for writing, and to join the online writing community. So, Merry Christmas. I know it's kind of late, but Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Since New Year's is just around the corner and a new year generally means new year, new me. Everyone gives themselves goals, especially as writers. So whether you're doing monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly goals, it is kind of hard to actually set them and set realistic goals that you will be able to achieve. I know that I used to struggle with giving myself goals that were way too impossible to achieve. Because some things just take time for you to realize, or you want to start working on something, or you want to start learning something new, or whatever your goal is. But because of how chaotic life is and how things can take an unexpected turn, it's not always that easy to just focus on your goals and achieve all of them. And I know that personally, when I don't achieve my goals, I get really down, I feel really bad, and it's not a really great feeling. It's not the way that I want to feel, and not the precedent that I want to set for in my life and to show the people around me. So this week's video is a little bit shorter, but it's about how to give yourself realistic goals. So if your goal is usually for writers to write a book, you really need to take time and divide the huge goal of writing a book into a lot more smaller goals that are a lot more achievable. So when you start off writing your novel, if you're a planner, you can firstly give yourself the goal to just outline the novel, or just to come up with some concepts for the novel. You shouldn't really start off with the idea, I'm gonna write a book, because not everyone writes a book in a year, because writing a book ultimately means it being ready to be published. But your book is not going to be published ready, especially if you're a first-time writer, or if you're a mom, or it's kind of hard because everyone has other responsibilities. So you need to give yourself smaller goals to achieve the big picture. Set some deadlines for yourself. So maybe you could give yourself like 2 weeks or a week to work on the actual outline, and then 1 week or a couple of days to write the first chapter, and so on and so forth, before you actually get to finish writing the first draft. And after you finish writing that, you should really think of the next steps to achieve your goal. One thing that you should always keep in mind is that self-care always needs to come first. If you're like me and you give yourself a lot of goals and you just focus on achieving those goals, that really drains you mentally and sometimes even physically. And mental exhaustion is the worst kind of exhaustion, because that affects you in your future goals. That affects you whether you are productive anymore, or whether you are willing to do anything else. So make sure that when you are setting your goals and when you are achieving your goals, you give yourself time to rest, and not just be hustle, because you need to be smart about everything. Like Kristen Martin, a fellow author, has a webinar, Hustle Smart and Not Harder. That is really something you should do and focus on in your life, because that also, by hustling a lot and hard and not being smart about it and how you achieve your goals, you kind of attract a certain energy, and that energy shouldn't be in your life, because that affects everything: who you are as a person, your productivity, your moods, how you are able to complete a task or a goal. So make sure that you don't just hustle for the sake of hustling and doing things just to say you're doing something. because that will affect the rest of your goals in the future. And another thing to remember, that when you set yourself goals, is that you're human. Just because you give yourself like 10 goals doesn't mean that you will be able to achieve 10 goals. Maybe you'll achieve only 2. Maybe you'll achieve 9 and be just 1 goal short. But as many goals as you manage to do from the whole list that you give yourself for the month, or by months, or quarterly, remember that if you try your hardest to actually achieve those goals, then you still kind of achieved something because you tried. And that is kind of all that you can wish for, all that you can ask for. And you shouldn't really beat yourself up too much, or not too much at all, if you aren't able to complete your goals. So I know this video is a bit shorter than usual. I'm sorry for that. I'm just enjoying my vacation off from school. But I hope you guys have a nice Friday, a fantastic weekend, and if you want to get and have an amazing new year. May 2019 be the year you achieve everything. I plan to make 2019 the best year so far, where I have so many plans and so many goals to achieve, and I'm going into this new year with a fresh mindset, a fresh start, and that is how you should approach things as well. Bye.